It's a treasure trove of pocketbooks down here in the attic underground.
Only the finest in literature, as you can see.
Lady Hobo.
Lust Pigs being one of my...
Life's like a postman. Life's like a postman.
You ever know one?
Do. I do. I know our postman very well. He's a nice guy. And there's your dagger. We got a book here on the Empire Dukes. The Juvies. Day of the Locusts. Oh, that was a great movie.
Oh, God. You know, I remember you telling me about that when you went and seen it. And you said, oh, and you know, Donald Sutherland stomps on this kid. It's this unbelievable ending and everything. And I was going, oh, really? And I didn't see it myself for quite a few years. It was quite a movie. Actually, I read that book. It's very much like...
Is it?
It has the whole thing of the scene where he jumps on the kid and everything.
We're almost ready to start. We'll be back in a bit. What you're looking at here is a photo of the house in St. Catharines.
Yeah, it's where we used to live there. This is why we had to move to Daddyland.
Yeah, well, that's just
some of that stuff has been dispersed. The collection has been pared down somewhat.
Yeah, looking around here, I don't think so. Go here too. You've probably seen the thing on a previous show. It's the Addams Family House cabin.
Yes, the Aurora model.
Oh. Oh, there's somebody in the window.
That was mine.
Is that Lurch?
When I was a kid.
In the upper
floor.
floor?
Since I was a kid.
Wow. Oh, I see the families in the window upstairs.
Yeah, you can move the... there's 3 ghosts that move around inside with kind of a...
That's about as close
as I can get. It's one of those scissor action things.
Yeah, yeah. That's Betty. Will be here shortly.
I said, now, all you vinyl varmints, all you record collecting crew, have I got a box of records for you? Hey, baby, it's beat.
Oh.
It's the beat, man.
We got the beat?
Actually, we always are about the beat and the big beat, but
It's always
today's
about
show
beating.
is more like beat as in, like beatnik, like beat poetry, like the Giddens, like Kerouac, like, you know.
Cool, man.
William Burroughs.
Yeah, I just want to start off by saying our thoughts are with you, Dan.
Yes.
I'd love to be with you right now to give you a great big hug, because my hugs are amazing. I have magic in my arms. I can tell you a story. Yeah. You're a tough guy, Dan. Hang in there. Our thoughts are with you, man. Eventually I'll go down this road. Alright. Sort of like a buzzkill, but it is what it is, folks.
No, we had to acknowledge.
Yes.
Yes. Send our best. Our absolute best.
So.
Howls, rants, and roars. We're going to start off with this. These are CDs, of course, and they're put out by Fantasy Records, who had a lot of the original of the jazz and beat people on there. And it's a nice set. Typical 90s, hard to get open, booklet with the far out artwork and everything. And this is about a side of everybody of note. It's like side of Lenny Bruce, a side of Allen Ginsberg, a side of Kerouac, and everything. Very cool. And if you're into that kind of thing, it's just a great overview. And with this, And we know how Rhino Records always does things up, so
The Beat
so
Generation.
cool. Yeah, this is more individual songs, and not songs like, so there are songs, but some readings and some poems and some
Spoken word.
dialogue and spoken word, and some raps, some rants, some groans, some moans. Go moan and groan all alone, as Kerouac said on that fantastic appearance on the Steve Allen Show. One of the greatest resources of seeing, actually, Kerouac. So as you notice, for show 54. Oh,
Show 54, where are you?
see, drinking water today from
Coffee.
tri-state area in the lower Antilles.
Coffee.
As WC
Coffee.
would say.
Coffee. Always coffee. More coffee.
Well, we're in Daddyland. We're in Attic Underground. Back for another show. This was a gift. Oh, I've still got the plastic on it. I hope we can see it okay. Am I holding it all right, my
I
man?
think it looks pretty good. I don't see a lot of glare on it.
Yeah.
Better an old demon.
Better a new demon than an old god.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's got Jim Carroll on here, John Giorno, William Burroughs.
Oh, I see. I put the top there. William Burroughs.
Yeah. Lydia Lunch. There you go. Pretty far out. John Giorno. I think Giorno records he was a poet, New York poet, and involved in some Andy Warhol films. And I believe this was on his label, on Giorno. And that was a great Christmas gift, I think probably mid-'80s. Because you know we all been on this stuff a long time, and this stuff has been around for a while. Again, and this is a Charles Bukowski.
Yep.
I know I should have removed these plastics, but
No, I don't see any glare on it, if that's your worry.
these aren't, maybe some people would listen to these over and over and over again. I can't say nobody listens to these over and over again, but these are something you enjoy and go back to and everything. They're not like, say, Exile on Main Street or the Rock and Roll Circus soundtrack or something that gets played a lot. So
Somebody has a movie they're going to play on their next show that they talked about and we mentioned, like Chocolate Hair. They made a movie.
Sugarloaf, who was originally Chocolate Hair.
They were in a movie called They Go... something goes... I ain't ready to tell stories.
Your regular Red
Anyway,
Skeleton.
he has the film, the movie. He might be showing it on his next download podcast, whatever these things are called.
Okay, the film.
Oops, I should hit myself over the head with the camera. All right.
The Fugs. I found these in Buffalo a few years ago, and these are original ones that are on ESP Records. And they've got the liner notes in here that says some of the other LPs that they released on ESP. And it's just crazy, all the wild Tim Leary stuff and everything. And I managed to find these. Yes. Let's see. One a few years ago.
Ooh.
And Ed Sanders, who is the lead singer, I guess you'd say, with Tuli Kupfelberg in the Fugs, I met walking down the street in Woodstock, New York, actually.
Oh,
I
wow.
just finished reading his book, Fug You, and he also wrote a book called The Family, about the Mansons,
Oh, wow.
which I have a copy of course.
Everybody knows what the family is as soon as you say the family.
And
Oh,
it's not the
yeah.
Corleones.
No.
It's the Mansons. And as I say, these ESP releases,
So-
I found these, I couldn't believe it. I'd only heard of them. You know, one of those scores that you're like, oh. This is David Peel, Have a Marijuana. And David Peel was a New York-centric wild man, singer. I believe, I could be wrong, he had something to do with Elephant's Memory at one time, or shared bills with them. But yes. Have a Marijuana.
Have to, they're cheap.
Recorded live
Yeah, on the streets of New York.
in the streets of New York.
Here comes a cop.
Cool stuff. And kind of related to the Fugs is the Holy Modal Rounders.
Oh, my goodness.
This is pretty chewy, but I was just so amazed to actually find a copy of these.
You are blessed, my son.
There's a guy named Pete Stamfel who played on here, I believe. I believe some other things he might have been the... That's not very much information on them, but if you want to investigate, there's always that.
Something called the internet.
Yes, so I understand.
Even some other...
Now, we had about Lenny Bruce before. We had one of his albums on our Bizarre and Straight show. And I don't think we featured much Lenny in the comedy. I might have.
I don't think
we
so.
might have. But this was one of the original albums of his, The Sick Humor of Lenny Bruce. And I believe this is on Fantasy, because I mentioned that box set was... Excuse me. Jeez. Nothing on the side. Must be a jazz label, eh? Because they don't say what they are. Why don't you take the record out?
Sure.
Okay.
I think we
got Fantasy. Thank you. Thank you. Like Creedence.
We wouldn't have slept until we found
it. Fantasy Records, little jazz album. They thought we should get a rock band. Oh, okay. And they signed Creedence, and then they can hardly keep up. Have to get more pressing plants and probably let the jazz guys. Not as much attention was paid to them. Triple Lenny Bruce, live in Carnegie Hall.
Is it Carnegie or Carnegie?
Carnegie?
I don't know.
I just know that with poster, which is the same as the cover, but I'm sure Carnegie would be rolling in his ornate grave to know that they were releasing Lenny Bruce stuff.
Oh, it's a big one. There's a lot of words to read.
Oh, yes, yes. Slam. Slam, it's a triple. And I will assemble all these back. We won't waste enough time visually. Slide her over here. Okay. Now, this is interesting. This is so fragile. I'm sorry, I can't take this apart.
No.
This is a triple box of Billie Holiday, original from the 50s. This was my dad's.
Good Lord.
Now, we mentioned before, I hope you don't mind, you wanted me to tell that story about my dad.
I love stories.
He was in the war, Second World War, in France, got wounded, ended up in a field hospital in France. He was there for about a month before they moved him back to England. They had a record player there, and they had 12 78s. Now, for the rest of his life, I know he had some, but he was always looking through 78s to try to find these. Now, you talk about record collector. We're talking about the time tunnel of memory. When he was down in his darkroom, because he was a photographer, listening to those things, I can only imagine the time trip and the recall.
Yeah.
And this was his anyway. And he loved that Gloomy Sunday, I think it was called, or I don't know. He used to because he listened to a lot of dad stuff too, eh? Ken Griffith at the organ. We'll say it one more time, but somehow, unlikely enough, he had that hanging around. Okay, and we're just going to finish up because I don't know what else to put these, and I find them kind of interesting. And we showed some boxes. So anyway, early 90s. Late 80s, whenever CDs came out, I can tell when I was buying things. The long boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Because when CDs first came out...
I think we showed a few of these, didn't we? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think we did show just probably two.
Because they wanted you to, the record stores to be the same height as the records, so people would flip through them. This idea got dropped after a couple of years. But I can tell just by what I bought.
Hold that steady for a second.
Oh, sorry.
No
steady? I'll see if I can try to hold it steady.
No, you're doing fine. I just want to get a nice, tight shot of the guy.
Okay.
Mercer Street Sessions.
Yeah, this was the first New York Doll stuff when they still had Billy Mercer, the original drummer.
Lipstick Killers?
Castaways, yeah. It's kind of like demos. I love this stuff. Fantastic. Great songwriting right off the bat for the Dolls. This is the second Stooges album, of course, Funhouse. Everybody needs a copy of Funhouse hanging around. My personal favorite, that maybe Raw Power, but I'm sure that's been mentioned a few times. Tom Waits, Bone Machine. I mentioned this before. The first concert I was ever at was Frank Zappa at Kitchener-Waterloo University, the Mothers of Invention, and Tom Waits opened up. And then Susan and I went to see him in '75 open up for Bonnie Raitt at Massey Hall.
Good Lord.
In Toronto. So that, we've had a couple
Pardon me.
Tom Waits experiences in the eons of time. Keith Richards, solo. Main Offender. Second album, I believe. I mean, I should know this stuff. But yes, it is. It is the second album. I stand by it. I stand by it. And the Cramps. Look, Ma, no head.
Is that hers?
Yeah.
Probably not.
And there they are.
Mm-hmm.
The Cramps.
Very nice.
Okay, the long boxes. Now we got that out of the way.
There to be seen from again?
It's been a delight.
It has.
And, all the best to all y'all. And I didn't even spill my pop or water yet. I'm trying.
Who's that poster way in the back there, Attic Daddy?
That is a Sex Pistols poster from Nevermind the Bollocks. It went to record stores.
You know, every direction you turn in the underground here, there is something.
Dig it. Dig it, I say.
Somebody else says, dig it, dig it.
Yep.
Look at that.
Okay.
Is that a crystal skull up there? They're looking for it, you know. Oh, sorry.
Don't tell them about the crystal skull. And someday...
They thought there was only, what, 12? It turns out there's 13.
Yeah. Doesn't sell that Dan Aykroyd vodka in the crystal skull or something?
I don't know.
They wouldn't sell it in the stores for some reason.
It obviously came from alien intelligence. There's no way a human could ever make that.
I'm going down that pipe, are we?
No,
Yeah.
don't go down there.
Put my harmonica down. Oh well. What the fun.
Yes, it has been. I want y'all to take care of yourselves out there. Look after each other. Be kind to each other. Reach out and give somebody a hug. Give them a hug for me because I can't be there. We can't be there. What else can I say?
How about you've had your tea?
Oh, you've said it for me, my
Go
man.
ahead. It's
Okay.
not the same.
You've
It's your
had-
tagline.
And nobody wants to even go near it. You've had your tea.
Adios.
All right. Okay, he found his harmonica, but he doesn't want to play it, so we really are done.